hold myself. So then benefits, right? So I could have squatting, turn around, walk backwards, and stuff. So functional fitness is about being able to strengthen the body, work the body in such a way that that it benefits me for my everyday life, right? Well, Tai Chi, it requires me to squat down, it requires me to lift up, it requires me to walk backwards, it requires me to go forwards, it requires me to pivot and turn. Now, you may not do all of those things in a regular day, but maximizing the body, right? You know, I'm in the kitchen and I'm here and I'm doing something, and I want to read something here, right? I have a couple of choices. I can turn to get something, or I can lean the body. Well, this is, if your body, especially your core, is weak, the muscles that are pulling one way, going this way, one more is going this way, this is hard to do, and it would be easy to lose your balance, right? So turning around. But if that stuff's strong enough, I might be able to reach back here and grab that thing if I felt like I needed to, right? Leg and core strength. That's two of the biggest things that you're going to develop from Tai Chi. A lot of it is I'm down here in my legs, right? Or I'm here in my legs and I'm pivoting and I'm turning and I'm stepping and I'm doing things, right? And it's working the core, right? And working the core is not just lifting the legs or squatting and things like that, but the internal aspect of it is working the core, right? The upper and the lower core. And so when I do an action, the momentum part comes through, right? But then whenever I go to complete the action, the body becomes somewhat stationary to support the core for me to do this force action, right? So I don't know if it makes sense. Again, I'm trying to make all this as brief as possible. So anyway, there's a lot there to develop. Improved posture and balance. Well, most Tai Chi, I'm working motions like this or like this. If you're looking at me, right, really I'm in a straight line, right? The crown of my head to the heel of this foot. You see, if I bend the leg, right, my posture is straight. Straight, straight. Okay? So I'm constantly thinking about lifting the head, not rounding the chest, but keeping it, flat. And the same thing with the back. I don't want it like this, I want the back nice like this. I don't want to lift up my shoulders. So there's all these points in Tai Chi about your posture, making yourself aware of them. A lot of things when people that walk like this, well, one, the core is weak, but then it'll affect their neck, it'll affect their knees, their lower back. Or sometimes when people are really overweight, they'll walk like this, and so they'll mass their weights in front of them. And they do this, and the head's like this, or the weight in the knees or the lower back. So having good posture makes all of the difference in the world, sometimes even how good the body feels. Instead of taking pills, how about we fix what is wrong with the posture, strengthen the lumbar, strengthen the abdominals, and see if a lot of that pain that person's having in their lower back from sitting in a chair all day long, or when they lose that 25 or 30 extra pounds by making some mild modifications in their diet, over a few months, they may feel so much better. Again, just fundamental overview. And then we have coordination, circulation, heart rate. Coordination, younger people, older people, not everybody has the coordination that they can move the body as a unit, right? And learning how to do that improves my ability to pick up things, to push things, to pull things. Circulation, through doing the exercise the way that it is for the body, it's going to improve the blood flow through the body. And if you're, somebody that may be a little overweight, or they've got diabetes, or they're sedentary, the blood flow is, it's not working well, maybe they've got hypertension, high blood pressure, all of those things. And through the exercise and through the stimulation of the legs and the body, it's going to improve the circulation throughout the body. Heart rate, just learning to let the body relax and clearing the mind, all of those things, and improving the circulation, improving the oxygen flowing through the body. All of those things will help with the heart rate. Sometimes the medications that people are on, if they just changed a few small things, they could get off of those medications. I'm talking about how they eat, what they don't exercise, and it's not about how long we live; it's the quality of the life that you live. And if I can, if I don't have to take those medications, then I can just make these reductions in what I'm eating, or I don't have to take these medications if I just do this exercise. Then I really want to do those things. But one is the cost factor. Two, then the body has to filter these things out, the liver and the kidneys, and it just, you're putting something in your body, and then the body itself has to try to not just contend with, this medication may be helping something, but at the same time it may be causing adverse effects at the same time. Let's see, fat loss, muscle tone, no special clothes. So muscle tone and fat loss. That's basically what I'm talking about. Improvement of the legs and the core, and then the shoulder girdle up here for movement, right, and the arms. But again, if I utilize some of these fundamental exercise apparatus, there's more than just this anyway, too. Okay, it just here's some highlights. But learning to use this pole for to do stretches and exercises with it, or the Tai Chi ball, and working these exercises with this ball, that's going to help to tonify the muscles. The extra calories I'm burning is going to help to reduce the fat content in my body. No special clothes. I put that because a lot of times when people go to the gym, they got to put gym clothes on, right? And not much different here. I mean, when I teach people come with maybe loose fitting pants or a shirt or something that they can wear to the class, so it makes it more comfortable. But if you can't do the stuff in your regular street clothes, maybe you should either look at your street clothes and decide or not if maybe the way that they're fitting you, maybe it's maybe not comfortable. Maybe you're not thinking about it, but subconsciously, you're wearing stuff that's too tight or too ill-fitting. It may be affecting your emotions. How you feel. I know that sounds strange, but the looser fitting clothes seem to make somebody feel more comfortable sometimes. But I should be able to do Tai Chi in what I wore to work today, or what I'm going to, I worked in the yard earlier, and I don't want to change my clothes yet, and I still want to do some Tai Chi in the backyard. So, I still got on those old work pants and that shirt and those shoes, those big heavy shoes that I was mowing the grass and trimming trees with. I still should be able to do my Tai Chi in them, right? I should be able to do the motions and whatever the piece may be, and so when I say no special clothes, like people go to the gym or go to yoga class or go to whatever type of class, a lot of times you put on these clothing to fit it. But what I'm getting at is wearing like a lot of martial artists, they're going to put on this outfit and then they have to take it back off when they leave, to go to the grocery store afterwards. Okay? I'm a firm believer that those traditional outfits, just like in Tai Chi, you will see them wearing the Hanfu clothes, like with the buttons, and sometimes it's acetate or it's silk, and they're actually quite comfortable. But you probably wouldn't want to leave here and then go to the local grocery store with the outfit on, right? To change the clothes. To me, if you can just wear regular, everyday, comfortable clothes, like these pants here, they're very loose, they're very comfortable. I can wear these anywhere I want, and they're not really gonna, I can work out in these. What I'm getting at is don't make it about these outward things, make it about training and learning your mind and your body, and don't make it about the entrapments, you've got to wear this special outfit to do this stuff. It's just not. That's not necessary. Most of those special clothes are great for demonstrations, martial art events, martial art competitions. Maybe like a lot of people will put on an outfit like that to do this video, right? I just got on regular, everyday clothes. Anyway, that's just my take. Again, my personal take. Cognitive improvement. Just through having to remember the sequences, keeping them in my short-term memory, and then trying to get them into my long-term memory, that kind of, it's like doing puzzles, right? You know, I don't know, anything where you're having to stress the memory, that's important. It can be important to a young person because maybe they have very young person, teens, younger, early 20s, 30s. They may have some issues where it's hard for them to concentrate, right? And to keep the memory, keep that focus enough that they can put that in their memory. Older people may have a problem with retaining this stuff because I'm a firm believer that a lot of stuff that they say about getting older is not just one day you start losing your memory. I think a lot of times it's because you're not stimulating the mind enough, right? It's like, well, the person's gotten older now, and so they're like this. Well, it may be because they're not stimulating the body. They're trying to keep some muscle tone to the body. They're trying to keep the joints loose, all that stuff. I can say that. I'm 55 years old. I'm not like I'm not 65. I'm not 75. But at the same time, I've got great posture for me. I have pretty good muscle tone. My memory is good. It's because I keep stimulating my mind and my body. And again, it's about slowing this progressive decline in us, right? I want to be this way. I don't want to be this way. And I would think that the average person doesn't want to do this either. But you got to put the work in. The breathing is just learning to breathe and to breathe with the movements that you're doing, right? Or being focused on the breathing, like when you're standing in something like this, right? I'm focused on the breathing, and I kind of let other things go. Much more training almost anywhere, right? And that I've already kind of covered that. I should be able. I go on a trip and it's a scenic spot, and I want to do some Tai Chi, right? Or I don't know. You work at the local fast food joint, and you've got a 20-minute break. And you do Tai Chi in the back behind the building, by the dumpsters. Who cares, right? I should be able to do Tai Chi like that anywhere I'm at, and that is applicable, right? So mobility, range of motion. I want to maintain my mobility, my range of motion, and through these type of exercises, things like cowbell, things like these loosening exercises. Things like the forms where my body has to make these large fundamental motions, right? By doing that, I'm going to keep my mobility and I'm going to keep my range of motion. Me personally, I don't stretch to stretch, meaning, I can easily put my foot over my head, and I don't do floor stretches. I don't do all of that stuff. But I do work my range of motion, and I do keep my joints loose. I think that's more important because a lot of the stretching that we do, sometimes the people will go overboard with it. I want to strengthen the connective tissue, the ligaments and the tendons, and I want to make the joints more pliable and the big muscle groups, right? And I want to strengthen the small muscles that go around the joints to keep my body limber and pliable. So I just have a different view, and I'm not the only one that has this view. Skills relaxation. Well, when you start doing the Tai Chi and you realize you have to focus, right? I have to concentrate on what this move is and what the next move is going to be and what the next move is going to be. You'll start just letting all of the other things go away. If you don't, you won't be able to concentrate well enough to remember the sequence. So in a lot of ways, it's kind of hardwiring you and rewiring you in a way to kind of stay focused and in the moment. And maintain independence. Okay. Well, you could be 35 and be in a major car wreck and break your legs, multiple, whatever, they're broken up, and you lay in a hospital bed for a few months, and it may take you a while, right, to recover from that, to regain your full independence. And so what I'm getting at is that can happen to you at 75. something happens and you're reliant on other people to take you somewhere or to do something. And I find that after a period of time, through strength training, you'll gain some of that independence back, or you won't lose it in the first place. And progressive development, again, is what I was talking about, like expanding things, and then health maintenance, just maintaining the body through that daily practice. So anyway, I know it's a very, very long video, but I wanted to explain this and maybe come back to it and hit it 2-3 times to get the whole of what I'm talking about. But I just want to explain what this one program is and how I do it in my school. So those that may be interested in training with me, or somebody that may want to add a program like this into their place, or they want to come and learn what it is that I do, it's available. And but anyway, I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you.